welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, so here's another set of predictions in this video. I usually get them oh so right. I'm not sure what I was thinking with this idea. I'm literally setting myself a virtually impossible challenge. Here I am running through every Premier League team and trying to predict which player is most likely going to become a manager. In a world where experienced title-winning captains like Roy Keane end up getting turfed out of Ipswich after 1 year, and someone who spent his entire career in the Portuguese second division ends up winning 2 Champions Leagues as a manager. Management does not make sense. I'm clearly going to get this very, very wrong. Arsenal, David Luiz. Is it bad that I don't think Arsenal have a single potential future manager in their squad? Not one shred of leadership in their team might equate to even a half-decent manager. I mean, don't get me wrong, they might produce some god-awful ones. The type that sleepwalk through a job interview on the strength of their name before going on to showcase their complete lack of authority or any semblance of a tactic in their brain. For example, the likes of Hector Bellerin, far too interested in combing his hair than to pay attention to anything going out on the goddamn pitch. Mesut Ozil, a man who lacks even a fibre of work rate. Can you really see him stood 2 hours on the touchline, screaming at his fullback to track back on a cold Wednesday night at Hull? The man would sooner let squirrels claw out his eyes. I'm gonna go with David Luiz. To be fair to him, that man does have some leadership skills, so I'm gonna go with him. But if he coaches anything like he plays, he'll probably have mentally switched off midway through the first half, choosing to instead daydream about cartoons. Aston Villa, Tyrone Mings. I'll admit, I got things wrong about Tyrone Mings. Ask me about this man 1 year ago, and I'd have told you he was some mindless, brain-dead thug whose only purpose in life it was to use human skulls as makeshift trampolines. Oh, how wrong I was. The man is a born leader, has completely sewn the Villa defence together on his own. If he can translate his on-pitch leadership qualities into managerial competence, then he'll be a fine manager. But as we've seen before, with the likes of Tony Adams, that is not always the case. Whereas Adams was one of the most inspirational Premier League captains of all time. As a manager, the man couldn't motivate Rebel Wilson to eat a cheeseburger, and she does that in her sleep. Bournemouth, Artur Boruc. Artur Boruc. Oh, that man is just the king at winding up opponents. To be honest, he's at least 6 sandwiches short of a picnic. I wouldn't be surprised if his pastimes included skinning live mice for sport. Having said that, that hasn't stopped borderline nutcases in the past, like Paolo Di Canio, a man who looks like his brain is controlled by a family of lab rats living in his head. So if someone like him or Gennaro Gattuso can trick people into hiring them as managers, then you know what? Why not the holy goalie? Why not the man who looks like he probably drinks cups of his own piss? Brighton Glenn Murray. Glenn Murray is going to make a top manager one day. Murray is the type of all-action centre-forward who just gets stuck in all weathers. He's an absolute hero for Brighton. He's a club legend. I can easily see him in the next year or so making a seamless transition into part of the backroom staff. Give him a few years to hang around, hoping and praying for a sacking, for him then to be given a chance to audition on a part-time basis. Burnley, Joe Hart. I mean, the obvious answer is the likes of James Tarkowski and Ben Mee, 2 unfashionable British centre-halves, who I can see actually becoming half-decent championship managers, and a sort of parallel with the likes of Alex O'Neill and Tony Pulis. But I'm gonna go with Joe Hart. Yes, his playing career is essentially in tatters, with his confidence no doubt lying face down in a ditch, but I have a feeling he's gonna make a renaissance as a top manager one day. Yes, he's en route to ending his playing days, an absolute shame, going from Premier League champion and England #1 to a damp shampoo stain on the Burnley bench. Don't forget, the man has a wealth of experience behind him. He's captained his country, is a multiple Premier League winner, and he's as honest as they come. Future manager of Manchester City, that is my honest prediction. Of course, that will be when Sheikh Mansour has finally gotten bored of his plaything, pulled out and left them to rot halfway down the league. Chelsea, Kepa. I mean, why not? He's already proven he's the manager. Clearly immune to getting hauled off the pitch. Clearly he's already the brains behind the Chelsea operation. Clearly in his own head, the man is already the manager. And the appointment of Frank Lampard was just a goddamn smokescreen. Crystal Palace, Gary Cahill. One of the most obvious ones in the list. I think we can all agree, right? Gary Cahill is going to follow John Terry into management. Of course he is. He's a former Premier League winning captain. Whether it be the ego or whatever, if you've captained your side to a Premier League title, you're more than likely gonna want to test yourselves in management. We see it all the time. Whether it'd be any good, I don't have a clue. I mean, Gary Neville won 8 league titles and couldn't even outshine the Valencia janitor. Everton, Fabian Delph. Okay, well, the obvious answer is Leighton Baines, who I think is already doing his coaching badges. Seamus Coleman would also be a good shout, and I feel like Gylfi Sigurdsson might have the personality for it too. But I'm gonna go with Fabian Delph. I watched that pristine Amazon documentary about Man City, and surprisingly, this fella spoke up in the change room quite a lot. You might think Delph, some utility man from Leeds, whose CV consists of nothing more than relegation battles with Aston Villa, might, you know, shy away from being too vocal in a change room full of world stars. But no, to his credit, he didn't, and was actually one of Man City's leaders. Again, lads, if he can translate that into managerial qualities, I think Delph could be a half-decent boss. Although, don't be surprised if 20 minutes after signing a 3-year deal, he tosses that in the bin to go somewhere else. Clearly, that man has about as much respect for contracts as Melissa McCarthy has for cholesterol. Leicester, Kasper Schmeichel. Remember that young blonde-haired lad who was trying tucked in goal for Man City back when they were poor. You know, the son of their club rival's legendary goalkeeper. You know the one. The lad would later be sold to League Two for less than half a packet of crisps. I'd have bet good money then that Peter Schmeichel's son would follow in his dad's footsteps and lift the Premier League one day. Schmeichel's rise through the lower leagues is a testament to his mental strength. Yes, when sold to Notts County in 2009, he could have seen his confidence seep through the cracks in the bathroom floor. He could have ended up being nothing more than Peter Schmeichel's failed son, stuck halfway down League One at 30 years of age. But no, he didn't become that. He's a born leader with remarkable mental fortitude. I can 100% see him becoming a Premier League manager. You know what? I'm going to say he's going to be managing a top 4 club by 2040. Then again, by 2040, Tranmere Rovers might be in the top 4. Liverpool, Jordan Henderson. I think there's a good few future managers stuck in the Liverpool squad right now. Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Fabinho, and James Milner, all of them will be managers one day. So too will Jordan Henderson. He's the Liverpool captain. Does he really have a choice? Of the last 10 permanent Liverpool skippers, only Jamie Redknapp hasn't gone on to become a manager. Of course, that doesn't automatically mean that Jordan's going to be any good. Christ above, Sami Hyypiä, Paul Ince, John Barnes, Graham Souness, great Liverpool captains, absolute horse testicles when it comes to management. Man City, Scott Carson. Yeah, I bet you'd forgotten Scott Carson was even at Man City. Well, he is. He's just tossing a shoebox under the stairs and probably told not to look any of his teammates in the eye. I mean, probably. I can only assume third choice goalies are treated like unfashionable lepers at a club with all the financial riches of Man City. He probably forced to eat bowls of horse vomit and gruel at a separate table to everyone in the canteen. Anyway, this man, a former England #1, a Champions League winner, well, sort of. He seems like he'd be cut out for management. He seemed like a bit of a leader at Derby County. What do you, I don't know. Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is also a good shout. The man's already putting in study for his coaching badges. Man United, Scott McTominay. Again, I couldn't really find much in the way of a manager at Manchester United right now. Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Phil Jones. If any of them become a manager, I will personally return to this channel and swallow a bowl of broken glass. That is, if I manage to live that long. If I make any more of these stupid bets, I probably won't. I'm already going to catch pneumonia off the milk next week. I'm going with Scott McTominay. Lads, if Scott McTominay lasts over a decade in the Manchester United midfield, he'll be a shoo-in based on the strength of his name. I mean, for Christ's sake, he'll probably be given a job at Old Trafford, because apparently they just hand out 3-year deals to anyone who's ever sat on their bench, despite having a managerial CV that will be laughed at Burger King. Newcastle, Rob Elliott. You know what? I actually think Rob Elliott stands a chance. You know, that forgotten man whose face you probably haven't seen in about 2 years. I mean, Jamal Lascelles is the obvious choice considering he's the club captain. Matt Ritchie as well, although his management style would probably just be consisting of screaming at players square in the face for 3 hours a day. But I'm gonna go with Rob Elliott. I assume he's been undertaking his coaching badges. I mean, Christ above, the poor lad needs something to fill his days. I can see him moving into management at some point. Why not? I mean, he's already set up his own football academy in Tyneside. Norwich, Tim KRUL. Pretty simple, this one. Tim KRUL is a leader. He's well spoken, he gets his points across, he's passionate, he's experienced. For Christ's sake, the lad has saved penalties under pressure at World Cups. Why not? Future manager. Future manager at Newcastle if he gets his way. Sheffield United, Billy Sharp. I'm not sure. John Egan, John Fleck, John Lundstram. Christ, there's more Johns in that Blade squad than there are in an airport bathroom. I'll go for Billy Sharp.
Billy Sharp reveals he'd like to manage Blades one day in future. I'd like to manage Sheffield United, I can't lie. I saw I was 40-1 to get the Doncaster Rovers job a few years ago, but that's a bit soon. But if the chance was there, I'd give it a go.
There you have it, lads. Such passive, lukewarm commitment from your next manager. Southampton, Danny Ings. The lad is an old head on young shoulders, shown mental resilience to battle back from rejections as a kid, lower league football, and an injury which effectively ruined his dream move. His dad Shane has taken his coaching badges. Why not Danny too? Tottenham and Jan Vertonghen. Harry Kane seems like someone who might give it a go, only for nobody to understand what he's saying, and trying their very best to dive out of an incoming spit.
Let's go! Come on!
Christ above, if he gave a pre-match team talk, it'd be like a tsunami in the dressing room. I'm gonna go with Jan Vertonghen. I mean, maybe it's because he's outspoken, honest, experienced leader, but for some reason, I can see him becoming a good manager. Watford, Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney is a punditry team's wet dream, but despite that, I think he'll become a manager instead. He'll grow bored of the pundit's armchair, try his hand in the lower leagues, and who knows, might actually do alright. West Ham, Pablo Zabaleta. I know what you're thinking. Mark Noble has future West Ham manager stamped across his forehead. Probably, but I think a safer bet to become a manager is Pablo Zabaleta, considering he's already taken his coaching badges.
I have done my B license, next is the A license. In football you never know, but I like to keep myself involved, whether as a manager or off the field. I want to prepare myself by having those badges.
Watch this space, lads. Wolves, JOAO MOUTINHO. Don't ask me for any rhyme or reason for this one. Don't ask me to give you an explanation. It's just something I feel. I know it. I know JOAO MOUTINHO is going to be a great manager. I can feel it. He's probably going to go work at the post office now, isn't he? Anyway, that's the end of the video. What do you think, lads? Who do you think is going to be a future manager? Clearly, I've got about at least 17 of these wrong. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.